sitting here waiting, Ian. Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think, you could take this guy?
The odds are low, but I think so.
They're not zero.
They're not.
Oh, there he goes right here. Here he comes. Raufeon, what's good, man?
What's up, my guy?
How you doing?
What's up, little man? What's up?
You got a little more hardware since the last time I seen you.
A little bit, you know what I'm saying? A little bit.
Nice. Hey, man, this is a cool spot. East End backyard. I used to live not too far from here. Heeks come out and hung out with me whenever I used to live out here, man. It's a cool area. Brian Ching, ex-Dynamo player, ex-US men's national team player, owns this spot. So
cool.
Hopefully we can grab a couple beers, have a good chat.
Hell yeah, let's have a good time, man. Let's go.
No beer for you.
You don't have to be in Premier, so that in like black belt and Premier, that's when we do like katas and stuff.
Okay. And then in karate, do you do much more?
All right, Rauf, what's good, man?
What's up, man?
Dude, all right, so things planning out a little differently than planned.
Yeah.
This place is not open right now.
Yeah. That's what fighting is about, though. You know, rolling with the punches. You know, we got to get it done. However, we got to get it done.
Well, we've snuck in.
Yeah. we
jumped the fence. No.
You know what I'm
we
saying?
actually stole the key. We actually stole the key from the key card.
But we here. Don't worry about none of that. You know what I'm saying? We here. That's all y'all need to worry about. You know, nothing is admissible in court, so don't worry about none of that.
Yeah. For all you know, we could be fibbing.
Exactly.
But no, man, we're here.
Yeah.
You got some hardware. I want to talk to you about the journey in your life getting to this point. I guess just when did that competitive spirit in you start, and then how did it get to that point that you thought like, man, I want to swing on some people now?
Yeah, cool, yeah. Okay, so me starting out, you know, I was born in Houston, Texas. My mom, you know, she was a Section 8 kid. You know, we was born in Garden City in Acres Home. You know what I mean? So she came from a rough upbringing, and then she kind of clawed her way, you know, to giving us a good life, you know. She got an associate's degree, and she worked at a company. I don't know the company, but I know she worked her butt off. And she was like doing computer work or something for a long time. And shortly, or once I got into like my sophomore year, she passed away. So she passed away. She had pneumonia in both her lungs, and it was too much. She was in and out of the hospital from different health problems, but you know, the pneumonia took her.
Got her, yeah.
And so then at that point, I was also doing wrestling. I had just done it that summer, but the passing of my mom made me want to kind of hurt people. You know, just because I was like mad at a lot of stuff. I was mad at the world. I was kind of mad at God. I was mad, you know, for having taken away my mom. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like, you know, she should have took it away from me.
It's a big why, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Why? Yeah, like why is this happening to me? You know, so I wanted to take that out on people, and I felt like wrestling was a good outlet for me to do that, you know, where I didn't really get in trouble. You know, I went in and I dumped people on their heads, and they applauded me for it. You know,
not just got in trouble. But
yeah,
like,
exactly. I got
here's a parade.
accolades. They gave me medals and stuff for, you know, beating up people. So I was excelling really well in wrestling. My first year in wrestling, I made it to the state tournament, which is a big thing for high school. But I couldn't go to the state tournament because my grades had slipped below, you know. Yeah, where it's passing, yeah. So it was like pass or no pass, no play type of thing. So I couldn't go to, it was my junior year, I couldn't go to the state tournament. So then after a year, I did some maturing, you know, and I realized, hey, you know, I gotta also, you know, keep up my grades. And then I started thinking about, you know, what I want to do later, you know, what my mom would be proud of me doing, you know. And I felt like she wanted me to go to college. My original plan was to go to college and be a doctor, you know. So, and it was gonna be an avenue to help, you know, my family out, you know, and to pay back my mom for all the sacrifices she had made for us as kids.
How important is it to like have that thing that you compartmentalize and you funnel your passion and everything into, but also, you know, something as like trivial at the time as grades, right? And then you take that, how's that mindset, even as a teenager, how did you have that mindset to kind of like go like, you know, not like you know, fuck you to the school district,
Yeah.
but also now it's like, okay, like maybe you're right. Mom would agree.
Yeah.
Right? Like how was that? That's pretty
Yeah.
mature for a teenager.
And I don't know if that's like, I don't know, like professionally, you know, the grieving process or whatever, but I know anger is a part of it, you know, and I felt like me expressing myself through wrestling helped me deal with a lot of that anger. And, you know, I believe the next, or I don't know what the next step is, but whatever, I felt like after I was like, I had like a handle on the anger, you know, I can kind of release, you
It's
know,
like a
some
natural
of the,
process.
Yeah, and then it felt natural for me to not be as angry, you know. And ever since I've been kind of wrestling, or doing sports, I never really, you know, I never really get angry. I never really get, you know, to the point where I'm like mad. Even in my fights, you know, I'm more happy to be there than I am to like, or mad to really want to hurt somebody.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun for me. I messed up that sound. It's fun for me to punch somebody, for them to, you know, for me to break their will. You know, it's fun for me.
So it came down to that, like, A, catharsis, B, making mom proud, and C,
Yeah.
like, it was just fun. So, like,
Yeah.
that kind of was the
Yeah.
3 pillars of getting
Yeah,
where you're going.
and so, I feel like the making mom proud, I feel like was like my motivation. So also I feel like as my life has kind of progressed, like as I get older, my motivations kind of like change. So at first I was like angry, you know, and that was like a driving force for me. You know, the tragedy kind of drove, you know, me to kind of be great in one thing or focus on one thing. And then it kind of shifted to me making my mom proud. And then that was the focus, like, okay, everything I'm doing, you know, I'm trying to make her proud. So I'm gonna be the best I can be at everything that I'm doing. As I got a little older, then, you know,
like into college?
like probably a little after college. So even through college, I was like a lot of my like things, because I always too, like as I compete, I like go to the mirror and I like talk to myself, or like look at myself like deeply, like and pretend like either I'm talking to my mom or pretend, you know, that I'm talking to myself or motivating myself. And a lot of that through college was driven like, hey, you're gonna do this, you're gonna make your mom, she's watching you right now, she's watching everything you're doing, so let's go do this for her, you know? And then after college, I think really, when I got married, actually. When I got married, then my motivation turned to like, shifted to where it was like, my wife was kind of the breadwinner for me for a while. She's a school teacher, but like we were counting on her income to support us, you know, and I was finding in jobs kind of where I can while I'm, you know, invested in this MMA career. So I wanted to like pay her back, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm like, I can't lose to this guy because, you know, we ain't gonna have another, like we need this check like to help keep our house going. And then the same thing with my kids,
Yeah,
you
so I
know?
was about to say, then you had kids.
Yeah,
with it,
then I
and
had
it's
kids, and then it's like, they don't deserve, you know, poverty or anything. Like, I gotta beat the shit out of you because you ain't finna take no food out of my kids' mouth, you
That's
know?
my bread.
You know, so yeah, so my motivation, I feel like shifted throughout my life.
That's awesome, man. And I mean, like, I think that's something so many people are gonna be like relating to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Yeah. And I think it's a natural thing. I think it's hard to stay motivated on the same thing, you know, as you're growing, you're changing into the person that you're gonna be, you know, your ideal, like I don't want the same things I wanted when I was 15, you know, the things you want, things you aspire to do, the goals you reach, you know.
And the antithesis of that, the things that bring you down, the things that cause you anxiety, or the things that hurt you, or the things that you, like you said, like it was a process and you naturally went through it with the passing of your mother, right? And like, you know, when that was done and you reached a point, like obviously you're always going to want to make the memory of her proud and, you know, your mother proud, but like it's got to change, right? Like,
yeah, it's got to change.
Always forward.
Always forward. Always, man. And so I had went through college. I ended up winning nationals twice. Wrestling, and just wrestling. And I didn't even do any MMA up until I finished college without doing any MMA or any MMA. And then also So I'm kind of a late starter when it comes to like wrestling. A lot of people that wrestled that are like successful at wrestling, they started wrestling when they were like younger or whatever. But I started, you know, pretty much my junior year in high school, and I was able to.
Since.
Yeah, I've been killing it, you know, since. So like after wrestling, I went straight to. I was thinking that I was gonna go to the Olympic Training Center, and that was like the plan, like a loose plan of what I was gonna do. After I finished college, I was gonna go to the Olympic Training Center and then compete more for the USA or on a world stage kind of thing. And then in the meantime, I was finishing up my degree in the summer, and I was ex-USC champion, Jens Pover, just happened to have a gym in Kearney, Nebraska, where I went to college, and
serendipitous.
Yeah, like literally. And then he asked me if I wanted to, because a couple of the wrestlers had was transitioning into MMA. Some of my friends had transitioned to MMA, and he asked me if I just wanted to do the wrestling portion of teaching the fighters how to wrestle.
Oh.
So I was just teaching them how to wrestle. Then eventually he got me to do like you might as well come try a boxing class. And it was like, okay, cool. Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, might as well try this. I'm gonna show you this move on the ground. You know, that it kind of goes with your wrestling
like
or whatever.
It's like you're like, nah. And he's like,
yeah.
like, I knew you couldn't.
Right.
I knew you couldn't.
Like you know, just try
yeah.
it. Then he was like, I would go to the classes, and then I would, and I'm liking it, you know, and I like the learning about like different ways, you know what I mean, to manipulate people type of thing. And then so after that, he was like, man, you know what? You might as well fight. Like, you know all this stuff. Like, what you doing? You might as well fight. And I was like, well, shit, fuck it. I might as well. Let me try it out, you know?
Rauf, now you seem like the kind of dude, man, that up for a challenge all the time. You know what I mean? And that had to have, whether they like did it, I was joking about it, but whether they like did it or not, that had to have been like, all right, you're like, because it's got to be like, for me at least, either way, whether somebody like believes that I can do something,
right, or
if they completely, for me it's like one or the other. Like if someone's in my life that, hell, I believe that you can do this, or someone's in my life that's like, you can't fucking do it. Either one is just as motivating.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I feel like for fighters or whatever, I feel like that is the allure for me of fighting somebody, you know? Like, I believe in one thing, you believe something totally different, which is that one of us gonna beat each other's ass, you know? So we both believe two different things. The allure is like, we don't know, we believe it, you know? And we won't know until we, you know what I'm saying, get in there and we figured it out, you know what I mean? So,
there's one way to figure it out.
There's one way to figure it out. Let's get in there and let's, you know what I'm saying, punch each other, kick each other.
So that challenge came, hey, like, why don't you just fight? How was your first fight? Like, what was?
So my first fight was Indiana, and Jens Pover was there. And I wasn't like really nervous. I think because I had competed so much in wrestling that I wasn't really nervous. So I went into the fight, you know, I was kind of anxious and excited to get in there. And it's always kind of been like that for me. I'm like ready to, because I train really hard, you know, and the fight is like the fun part. Like, this is when we get to find out what, you know what I'm saying, what everybody been talking, or how good, we're going to find out how good you are. So I went in there. And my goal was to not use any of my wrestling, you know, because I started out as an amateur, you know. So this is where, like, you're supposed to get your experience. The record kind of disappears when you become pro, you know. So my idea was like, okay, let's go in here against some tough guys and let's see where I'm at, you know, so we can find out if I'm good enough to go pro. So I didn't want to use any wrestling. I boxed with the guy. The guy was like 6'1". He was super tall, you know.
Swinging up.
Yeah, I was swinging up, you know. But I broke his orbital, and then I got him in like a front headlock anaconda choke, and I freaking I like extended my hips and I picked him up, and then his legs were like dangling in the air or whatever, and then he like went to tap, and I let him go, and then he fell down unconscious, and then it was from that point on I was like, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the goddamn world. I'm doing this shit. This is what I need to do, you know? It was from that moment I was like, bro, this is it. Like, this is the
That's
feeling.
a movie scene.
Yeah,
That's a
bro.
movie
I
scene.
felt like and granted, I'm an amateur. I don't know much about nothing. To like in the grand scheme of things,
Very
I didn't.
green. So
yeah,
green.
I'm so green. I don't really. He's not. You know what I mean? The best. But in my head, I'm like, I'm the baddest mother.
was
Did y'all
6'2".
see this
Yeah,
shit?
no, I feel
he
that.
was 6'2". He's unconscious. I'm here standing over him. I'm
can
the
only
fucking
imagine.
man.
So, what happened here? You're in a tournament.
Yep. Okay, so it's a bantamweight tournament for $1 million. It's Bellator's probably biggest. It was probably one of the biggest reasons I signed with Bellator. You know, like not a lot of people make that type of money in fighting. So Bellator has a super stacked bantamweight division. So they did a tournament. It was an 8-man tournament, you know, and the winner gets, or it is an 8-man tournament. The winner gets $1 million. So originally I was set to face like pretty much one of my training partners that I've been with the longest. But he was the champion of Bellator. Well, he still is the champion. I'm the interim champion, I should say. So yeah, he was a champion for a long time, and they wanted me to face him the first round of the tournament, which is like not ideal, just because, you know, I got to wrap my head around beating up somebody that I like, you know, or it's like
Round
hard.
one.
Yeah, round one, you know. So unfortunately, but fortunate for me, he tore his ACL. So yeah, I say unfortunately because that's not the way, you know, you want him to have to sit out, but I don't have to fight him, so I don't have to, you know, do bad things to somebody I like or whatever. So yeah, so he ended up sitting out the tournament. So in steps somebody that I didn't really like, that I wanted to fight before. So, you know, everything, worked out. Everything worked out. So I got to fight a former champion. His name was Juan Archuleta. In Hawaii, you know, for the first round of the bantamweight tournament.
Boom.
So boom. So I get to fight him, you know. He's got a lot. I got a lot to say about him, you know, which I got a lot to say about a lot of people.
Drop
but
the WWE promo right here.
I got a lot. Hey, Juan Archuleta, you suck. You suck so bad. Obviously, I beat you. No, no, but yeah.
Don't come after me.
Yeah. So I fought him. I knocked him out in the 3rd round of the fight.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Clean head. So I threw a 2 or whatever, or threw a 1-2. He was slipping, and so instead of the 1-2, I threw a kick, and the kick landed kind of like high shin or whatever.
High shin,
Sliced,
yeah.
and then I just started elbowing his face for the TKO victory.
And then you backflip.
Then
celebrated.
I backflipped terribly, but it was a backflip. I
It
leaned
was
back.
a backflip.
Yeah.
It was a backflip.
Yeah, technically it was a backflip. Yeah, and then I won, you know, the interim Bellator Bantamweight Championship.
Man, how do you feel that's kind of changed your life right now?
I feel like, you know, it's changed. It's definitely changed. Like, I feel like I got a lot more eyes on me. I feel like, you know, people are like, I'm definitely respected. As before, I feel like people kind of, they
Underestimated? Or
nobody
no?
really underestimated me, and the reason I know that is because I kept getting denied fights, you know?
Okay.
Like I would
they
call
have to wanna
somebody.
fight you.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wanted to. Now they have to,
Yeah.
which is like perfect for me because you can't run. Like we're locked in this tournament and you gotta fight me. And that's
You
kind
like
of
being
like
the target.
I love being a target because
Yeah.
otherwise people will run away from
Yep,
me.
yep,
And
yep.
that's kind of the like the theme of my career so far. Like I've been having to like call out people, to chase people, and having them, even the Juan Archuleta guy, I was trying to fight him a long time before I got to fight him. And that's why I got a lot to say about him, because I felt like he was running from me.
Scurry.
You know, he was running, you know. But then they put the belt on the line or whatever, and it's like he couldn't pass that up. So
Yeah. Let me ask you something, because I kind of feel like I got a good grasp of your personality. And we mentioned earlier, first fight felt like step 1 of a new level.
yeah.
Does this feel like step 1 of a new level for you?
Definitely feels like step 1 of a new level. And I'm definitely, you know, I feel like this is like one of those moments that are gonna be remembered for my legacy, you know? And I feel like from here, like, yeah, this is like the legacy chapter kind of of my career.